This is Johnny Wrestling or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're at a ball right now. It's crazy. It's loud. It's hectic. We're in New York City. But I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network with another episode of Indy Talks. This is episode 7. I'm your host as always, the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies herself, Tiffany. And I'm always joined with the Law, Ray Ramundo. Stop making faces. Stop it. You're making me laugh.
I did nothing.
You did everything.
I did nothing, and you couldn't even say my name.
Nope.
This isn't even under the ropes. This is Indy Talks. I'm supposed to be nice here, but I guess no. I got to give my actual introduction.
All right,
because, ladies and gentlemen, all watching at home, my name is the Law, Ray Ramundo. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Tiff?
I'm dandy.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. We're in good spirits, right? Like, with everything that's going on, let's be real. It's been hard, but at the end of the day, we're keeping okay, right? Like,
yeah, we're doing the best that we can, right? That's it. That's why we're providing a bunch of content on the No Holds Barred Network. We're trying to be here with you guys. We're trying to share some laughs and talk some wrestling, right? Like... That's what it's all about.
That's all we can do, right? That's all we can do.
And it sucks, too, because there's not a lot of wrestling that we can watch. I mean, luckily, like, you're still having, like, you know, if you're a WWE fan or you're an AEW fan, yes, we're still getting that, you know, on weekly TV. But I'm missing the indie scene. What about you, Ray? Like,
it's that live feel. It's that live feel that I miss. Like, it's good. Again, wrestling is good. It's understandable with the current situation to not be able to, but it's like, it's hard not to miss it.
Yeah.
Just being around friends, being around just that atmosphere. Like, even the atmosphere, it has that sense of, like, it's a family affair. Everyone's close. Everyone knows each other. We're booing the people we like to boo. We're cheering for the people we like to cheer. And it's just, it's different. Now watching it without a crowd, I can only imagine for the wrestlers doing it, like, it has to be different.
Yeah.
It has to be that sense of, like, man, It's weird. It's weird. Wait, we have to do it right. We're getting so many in the chat. We gotta do it. What's up, guys?
Yeah, what is going on?
Thank you guys for joining us.
Do us a solid and share this stream. I mean, luckily, me and Kyle finally figured this all out. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, actually. We're streaming on Periscope. And we're streaming on Facebook. And then later on, everything will be
Wait, we're on Facebook?
We're on
Facebook.
Facebook. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, so we're all over the place. So please share, like that button, subscribe. Yeah, let's get some people in here. Let's talk some wrestling. I mean, It was really funny because me.
Wait,
yes.
we're supposed to talk wrestling?
Oh, okay. We can talk about whatever. Let's talk about a little bit of Monday.
I thought we were supposed to talk about.
Oh, all right. Let's not talk about all these
is that
things.
What this is?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know.
That's it. I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but yeah, we pretty much were like, okay, Indie Talks is going to be down for a while, like, since me and Ray are not going to any indie shows. So, but we actually got into a very deep conversation the other day about basics of the indie world, right? And it was so serious that we were like, damn, we should talk about this on the podcast, right? Yeah. So pretty much that's where we're gonna go. So all you guys in the chat, you know, like, you join in with us. We'll read up some stuff. Me and Ray had some funny things we want to talk about, but I mean, really, like, I don't know if you want to start this, or like, this is just going to be like a general conversation between me and Ray. It's not going to be like all the other indie talks that we do, because we're not reviewing anything.
This one, it's going to be all around. Like, when we talk about back to basics, so let's just kick off with that. Let's start with that. All what the episode's actually titled with.
Yes.
What basics is. Like wrestling, again, we love professional wrestling. We love the entertainment. But before it gets to that factor of the major companies like a WWE, an AEW, or even outside of it, like a New Japan, it starts somewhere.
Right.
Right? So it starts somewhere, and I feel like that basics is going to a school, wrestling on the independent circuit. And I feel like we don't give that value anymore. Before it gets to like people, yes, they love their indie wrestling, but how many people actually appreciate that and know about it to its true extent? You know?
Yeah, it's really crazy because I think we got into the conversation because I kept talking about that most of the wrestlers that we've like in like WWE or AEW started somewhere, right? They all started somewhere. And I think a lot of people do not realize that. And I think that's really what kind of had that conversation between me and Ray. And we were talking things about even like WWE. We were talking about like Seth Rollins was Tyler Black, right? Wait. Oh, God. I'm like blank right. Yeah. Okay. Tyler Black. I got so many names in my head right now. Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen. You know, this all started in the indies, and a lot of it's funny because I think like I wasn't following so much of the indie scene as I do now, but it's just really funny that even ones now that got signed over with names being changed, like Killer Cross now is signed over, Scarlett Bordeaux, and I think a lot of these names have changed in like WWE, but it's just really funny to like go back, even like we could talk about Dean Ambrose went back to John Moxley. Yeah. So it's really, really crazy. To really, McDuff is jumping on me already. He's the real MVP.
That's the real star of the show.
That's the star of the show.
McDuff.
What is going on? Like seriously. But yeah, no, it's just hey, so many people in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Really, I appreciate it so much. Please, like, means so much. But oh my God, I love the indie scene, and I think there's not enough. And actually, if you guys didn't see, like we did the Don't Rush challenge, and we did it for the independent scene. We wore like a whole bunch of the indie shirts, and I had the Gangone's mask, and oh man, it was just crazy. If you guys didn't see that, it's floating around all over Twitter and Facebook. It's so cool.
Wait, speaking of that, you don't know how hard it was to find Green Mist. That's very hard.
How did you?
I had to call some people. Find some people. It's very hard with the coronavirus at the moment. It was so hard to find Green Mist.
Oh man!
Like, and then it stained. Like my teeth were stained for days.
Really?
Like, I don't get how Tajiri and Great Muda, how they just did it so like, and it was done. I don't know. Like, it was worth it for the video, which someone had to edit 782 times.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It was just really fun. I drove Ray crazy because we had like all these videos from a bunch of our friends, and then it was like he would fix it, send it to me, and then I would find something else wrong with it. Like, wait a minute, no, you gotta fix this. Like, you know, and again, like I say, it's such a pain in the ass to podcast, but it's such a pain in the ass to edit. And like, I never really edited anything because I was always one that did live streams all the time. So I didn't know anything about editing. So when we go back to like our Indy Talks with the IWA show, like Ray kind of like taught me a lot. And he was laughing in Skype with me because I was finding things that like I didn't even know. I was like, oh, it's so crazy.
It was fun because it's like the experience, like, again, I self-taught, I like to pay it forward.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to teach Tiff because, again, just in case, you never know with these day and age, maybe I can't be around. Boom, Tiff can help out, do whatever. Right. And just watching her, like, react, like, ooh, I can do this, or ooh, I can do that. And it's like, that's how it starts.
It was like the littlest things.
Once they get to play around.
Yeah, it was the littlest things that were making me go like, oh, this is so cool. So but no, that was such a fun video to do, and it was like a shout out to all our indie friends as well. It's just great. Yep. But oh my God, but you know, it's funny even with like the indie world now, a lot of promotions and like me and Ray have been doing some Skype parties with a lot of our friends, and we've been watching some of like fight pay-per-views, and on the IWTV app, a lot of like a few promotions. Synergy is one of them that's been providing. The last one was Synergy Wrestling, our friend Colin, who's been on the podcast as well, with the H2O promotion. That's Matt Tremont's promotion. They came together and they took like matches from different pay-per-views in the past and they mixed it in. And it was a good way that if you have never seen these products before, it had some really great matches mixed together in this pay-per-view, and the prices were good. Like the first Synergy show I think was like $5, and then the second Synergy show was like $13. So we were all hanging out. There was a bunch of us hanging out in Skype and we were just, you know, watching wrestling. So I mean, there's, you know, we talk about it all the time between Fight and IWTV. There's so many apps that you could sit and watch, and there's a lot of free stuff too. Like Fight does have free matches, so I know Capital Wrestling is one that provides a lot of free matches, which is great. So, but it's really a good way because this is how you find wrestlers that you are not familiar with, or maybe there's a wrestler that you like and you can kind of see a bunch of their matches as well.
Yeah. And it's also that, like, I feel like now, nowadays, we're actually better off that we have opportunities to see independent wrestling in a bigger scale, because growing up, like, a lot of people I could definitely say they can agree with me, is to find indie wrestling, it was like you had to tape trade or go on this site and try to find, and it was like a pain and a hassle just to find, like, I remember, this is going to show a little bit of my age too, LimeWire, having to try to download like Amazing Red matches and just find like little clips of this and that. And it's like, nowadays it's like, on YouTube, Fight, IWTV, like there's so much stuff that's like it's in your fingertips now.
Yeah, it's
like,
great. Oh man,
yeah,
it's just crazy. So that's what pretty much like me and Ray have been doing, but I don't know. It's now I'm thinking about, you know what? Let's talk about this because I you know, there's just too much that we could sit here and talk about. Let's talk about the poster.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay. Let me go a little bit of a
wait.
of a
Wait. Let me pull it back before you brief about it, because this kind of started on our boy Jimmy J, who's actually, me and Kyle are going to do another Wrestle Forum tomorrow at 4:00. So our new show, we already had Darren from These Wolves on, and the next episode is going to be from Jimmy J, and I'm so excited. So he had me on with like the BCW show. They did an interview and I did a little rant, and the rant was supposed to be 5 minutes and it wound up turning into like a 25-minute conversation between me and him, and we started talking about indie bags. So go ahead, Ray. You could pick up from there because they had to start from there.
Yeah, no problem. So again, we're going back to basics, going to those indie shows, getting that feel. There's certain things every indie fan, well, certain indie fans might have, certain indie fans might not. But just in case, here's your checklist of what should be in your indie bag.
All right.
Here we go.
There we go.
So, okay. So we have a little bit of assortment of things. Certain things are for certain people. You never know. It's depending on the show. They might need one of these. But, so let's go into it. We have, to our far left, a man holding a sign. You definitely, if you're going to your local indie, you want to go support talent, you want to go support your favorite wrestlers, or just heckle one of your favorite, or like your favorite heel, you definitely want to have a sign. You definitely want to have a sign. Then the poster board in general, like you want to have different color ones, have something that stands out, especially when promotions are recording. Try to get on camera, like just play around, have fun. The wrestlers love it. It's just pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, in the middle, this is for our adult viewers. If you're under the age of 21, this does not apply to you. Booze. Depending on the venue, there is a bar. You definitely want to maybe have a few, just to have a nice live in the moment, have fun. That's the guy. That's
you know,
that's the video games.
That's the funniest thing, because this is true even in like not even the indie scene, but even like when you go to like WWE or you go to AEW. And it was just funny because when I went to Full Gear, I was holding signs and I felt guilty and I felt so bad. I'm like, oh my goodness, the people behind me are not gonna see. Like,
yo, You know what's the worst? Like, I feel like it's not even the sign. Like, this goes for, like, if you're in the front row, right? Why are you always standing? Like, you got a perfect view.
I'm
down.
guilty, Ray. Like, I'm freaking guilty when we're at the indie shows. Like, I have to scream for my list of husbands, okay?
Oh,
like,
man.
I need to
feel
be
bad.
up. Like, I need to be
I
up.
feel bad for people. Like, they're like, come on. Like, the funny thing is, I've been guilty of doing it as well, especially when I'm in the front row, like, yeah, like, yeah. And it's like the people behind you, yo, get the F down. Yeah.
I can't. It's
Man.
just
But yeah, okay, let's keep going.
All right, let's keep going, because then we'll go more into details.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, far right now, we're going into the Sharpies. It's to go for multiple things. For those that like their autographs, maybe they want to get an autograph. You have to have different colors depending on what your item is.
Mm-hmm.
Get it signed with the Sharpie. Boom. You have a memorabilia. You have something that's going to last you a decent amount of time.
Right.
But also, this goes with the poster boards as well. Because like our own Tiffany has done, she has brought a poster blank and started drawing the sign during the show.
Yes. Actually, I suggest that. I suggest that more than anything, because when you do the pre-signs, like, that's it, right? But I actually got that idea from somebody at Warriors of Wrestling, and this chick was behind me, and she was writing things as things were going on. And I'm like, that's smart. I was like, oh, I'm going to steal this idea. I was like,
yeah, I like the idea, but I also feel like you're going to miss something while doing the sign.
No, not necessarily, because if they're like coming out, you know, like,
okay,
yeah, like if they're coming out, like,
okay.
and then you might just like think of something, right?
Okay.
Like, I think the funniest thing that I did when we went to Wrestling for a Cause is that because of the fact that we were messing with Too Good and we were talking about the moo-moos, right?
Yeah.
I decided to draw a cow. And what made me think that was that our friend Charles brought colored Sharpies. And I was like, oh my God, you have colored Sharpies? Because I only had a black one, right?
See,
and
this is why I put the pack.
This is why, yeah, you really
rainbow.
need the pack. So then I went and I grabbed the pink one and I started coloring the cow and everything. So really, like, I was having a good time like doing this. So I was like, this is smart. So this is what I'm doing going forward.
Wait,
so
you colored a cow pink.
His like cheeks.
I
found a cartoon. Listen, I copied an image because I wanted to draw like a cartoon cow. Do not judge me, okay?
We gotta go back to old McDonald's. Like, Tip, cows are white and black. Pigs
it was a
pink.
cartoon cow, okay?
Just saying.
It was cute, so shut up.
I just wanted to make sure.
It was.
Let me know.
Listen, okay. First of all, what color is a cow's udders? Okay, like, serious. Let's get serious right now. What color is a cow's udders?
Let's move on to the next item. So, to our top right, these. To our top right, we have streamers. Now, this is it's a must. It's an item that, again, it's fun. It's awesome to have, but again, make sure the promotion you're going to allows it.
Yeah, because there's something.
Don't be that dick and have them and just start throwing. Meanwhile, it's like either one, the building doesn't allow it, because there's been shows like that sadly it's happened. So yeah, you don't wanna do that and have like the promotion get in trouble. You want to support your independents. You don't want to cause them an issue. You want them to be able to run smoothly. You want to be able to enjoy the show and have them get through it as well.
I don't know.
If it's down, just keep going. Do it. Throw it. Have fun. Like, do whatever.
I do whatever. I mean, I get away with a lot of murder and a lot of promotions. I really do. I really do. That's the nice thing about being friends with a lot of the promoters. Hi, I love you. Hey. It's funny. I mean, we've done some really entertaining stuff. So I mean, shit. I like through streamers.
Okay, that's what it was. Christian got it. Okay, So the reason the cat was pink was because it just saw April's new episode and was doing its makeup. That's why. Okay. That's what it was. Okay, cool.
Go give some love to these guys in the chat. They're just great. No.
Definitely go subscribe to them as well. We got our friends in there. Subscribe to their channels. Definitely, they're great parts of this community. So we all love each other. This is one big community family.
No, it really is. That I can't wait till a lot of people come onto the Wrestle Forum. So that gives me a chance to work with other content creators as well. So I'm looking forward to that with Kyle. So some exciting stuff. But back to throwing streamers. I don't know. Like I've had the. I think once I was at a Ring of Honor and I bounced it off somebody's head and somebody was dying at me. And then I think
see again, but that's having fun with it.
Oh yeah,
like you want to have fun. I remember one Ring of Honor show I went to. People threw toilet paper at Silas Young.
Oh my goodness!
Like that's funny, but again, oh wait, oh sorry.
Cupid, you always get love.
We love you too, Cupid. We're sorry. I didn't see your name in the chat. I'm sorry. We're multitasking.
Oh,
I'm reading the chat.
I feel like I wish I had a streamer right now so I could properly teach YouTube how to throw it. You unwrap it a little bit and then you throw it and then you can see it like unravel.
See. So let's just grab I'm gonna do a tissue ball. Hold on.
Oh, okay. You do a tissue ball.
Okay, so tissue ball. See, so you want to make sure it's round. Get it round enough. Get it round. Start have a little trim there. And then shoo. Now I'm not gonna actually throw it. I'm not gonna litter in my house. Not gonna do that. But that's what you want to do. If it's a heel, then what you want to do is one of these. Let it hit them in the head. Not too hard. Don't be a dick.
Like Darius Carter, who we just had on the podcast recently.
He's coming back soon too, and you're gonna say like Darius. He's gonna remember that comment.
Oh well.
April's like, I gotta aim. April.
I think
we're gonna teach you how to be like a sniper.
We gotta get. You know what? Next time we're just gonna order from Amazon. We're gonna get like a 50 pack, and that's it. And then we're gonna throw them into the ring. We're like, why are you giving a face though? Why are you giving a face though? No, it's true though. We're getting like a 50 pack, and one of them's gotta hit one of the guys.
The target is not to hit.
Damn it! I've been doing it wrong all this time.
It's supposed to make their entrance that grand.
Oh.
It's not supposed to
Okay.
them.
I have a couple of really cool streamer moments. Okay. One of them was, the Wrestling for a Cause. And I threw it in cracking up. I was with April. Ray was at Gangon's table. And I threw it into the ring. And Gangon went back into the ring and he ripped it. Then throw it. But I think one of my favorite streamer moments was actually Joey Silver at Full Faith Wrestling. And he had this whole section of all his friends and his family. All of a sudden you seen there must have been 30 to 40 streamers. Oh, it looks so cool. Then when he got up on the turnbuckle and then he's just like this, and then you just see all these streamers all over him.
That's what I mean. It's supposed to enhance the streamers. It gives that. You know where it started really? I think it was Japan. Mm-hmm. That Japan made that custom of just the streamers were that biggest enhancement. It just made it come into movie star status. You know. It was great to just see that.
Yeah.
And also to answer Christian's question, yes, it was during the Dalton Castle feud that they threw a bunch of toilet paper.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Too funny. I love it. But yeah, definitely streamers are great. I knew this was going to be a great conversation. These were the things that I was thinking about. I was like, oh my goodness, this is too funny. It was
but again, this is the fun of the indie experience. Going as a fan, you want to have that fun. You want to, because it's a whole experience. Even watching the wrestling, coming together with friends, going to the show, talking about the show, it's all that camaraderie that we love about the independent circuit.
Right.
And again, I'm not knocking the professional wrestling, because we love professional wrestling to the fullest, loving WWE, AEW, New Japan, the bigger companies like that. It's you want to watch it from every stage though.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that respect for what they're doing, and it just gives that bigger sense of you see them grow. Like we mentioned earlier, the Tyler Blacks, the Kevin Steens. There's guys now, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor. These guys, again, started on the independent circuit, and now they're part of our biggest stars out there.
Yeah.
And again, our future. Like, look at now. AEW has signed so many of the independent scene. Yeah. That's like, you never know.
You don't.
So today you could be watching them at the local Elks Lodge, and tomorrow they can be at a sold-out crowd, part of one of these major companies.
Right.
And you got to enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. Support indie wrestling and just support wrestling.
Yeah. It's great.
Because it all starts somewhere.
The poster board, little thing that you're laughing at me. I found a little trick because, like when you go buy the oak tag and they're like huge, right? Instead of like rolling it up, what I did is like I kind of like cut it into like eighths. And it gave me a nice size to hold. And then, like, I still was able to put a rubber band around it. And then, like I said, I had a whole bunch. Like, I had a couple that I did make. And then there was a bunch of blanks. So, like, also, when I was with some of my friends, even, like, April and stuff, like, we were writing things during the show. And that's what made it even more, like, entertaining. But you could, like, give it around in, like, your Sharpies. So, definitely a little tip for everybody. Because I think a lot of people just use the big poster board. But I think for, like, the indie scene, you don't even need to do all that big, poster board. Like, you could just like cut it up and do it, because a lot of times, especially if they're heel, they're gonna come in, they're gonna rip it up, so don't get offended. I love it.
I feel like the big poster boards, like, they're good for like a WWE crowd, for an AEW crowd, especially when you're trying to get on camera. Like the indie scene, it's like it's a smaller like size, like you're good just having something that's like, more than likely the camera's gonna pick you up.
Right.
So I agree with that. And that also is true. Don't get offended when heels are going to come. Like, we've had it. The Charles Masons, the Anthony Gangones, the Darius Carter's probably going to come for us now that we had him on the podcast.
I got sat on. Like I got sat on by Chris Steeler. I was loving every minute of it. See, that's the dangerous thing, too, is like as more shows.
I'm jealous now.
Don't be jealous. But no, seriously, like, and that's another thing too, is like the more you interact with a lot of these guys, like they're gonna know who you are. They're gonna see their regulars as well, and it's that easy that they can mess with you. So sometimes, like poor Ray, he takes the brunt for my crap. Right?
See, what's funny is that a lot of these guys I've trained with, I've gone in the ring with, everything, but because Tiff loves to do her chants and just whatever, or even April, because April, you're guilty of it too, and I'm the one that has to get beat up, get made fun of, and it's like,
because they know like they can't mess with me in April, so they go after Ray. Poor Ray. I'm sorry, Ray. Don't worry. Like when quarantine's over, I'm gonna cook a big dinner. There's gonna be a big bottle of alcohol here for you. There's gonna be cookies. Don't worry, I got you. Like seriously,
okay. They can make fun of me.
No, but that's the other thing too. It's like I said, is like as more and more as they become familiar with you, then they know it's like that easy. But me and Ray and like even April, like we got a kick out of a lot of this stuff too. Like we're the three people that like. When Ray met me, like Ray like was not ready for like me screaming a lot. Now he's used to me, and he's like, oh God. When April joined me and Ray, it got even worse, and Ray was like, shit. He was like, the two of you together are horrible. Pretty much.
I used to have perfect hearing. Now my left ear is a little messed up.
We're terrible. But that's the thing too, is like that's another very important thing I think at a lot of the indie shows is, and me and Ray talk about it all the time on Indy Talks, is it's so important to like be part of the show. That makes the show. When the crowd is dead, it kills the vibe of the show, know? So it's like, be loud, if you want to boo a heel, boo the heel, like if you want to cheer for your guy or whatever like that, but
have fun.
Yeah, have
fun, but don't, this is again, like have as much fun as you want, but be respectful.
Yeah.
Our biggest thing, be respectful, because I feel like a lot of times too, there's certain fans that they want to be a part of the show in a sense, and it takes away from the stuff in the ring.
Right.
End of the day, we're all coming for that. We're coming to see those guys that are putting their bodies on the line, that have learned their craft, like respect what they're doing, if you want to have fun, like they put you do something with you, then cool. But if not, just be respectful, enjoy the show. Don't take away from someone else's experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
Definitely.
end of the day, we're all just trying to enjoy, have fun. When all this comes back, we're gonna be doing the same. We're gonna be going back to those indie shows, back to those wrestling shows, and just having fun. All of us need to just try to get through this, and we're back there having fun, throwing streamers, me losing hearing because of April and Tiffany yelling so damn much. Yo, Christian, I need your help, bro. This is not fair.
Yeah,
But
we need more peeps to like
that's how we
roll
gotta
with.
do.
We try to roll with like a big group, and we have. There's been shows
Yeah,
that
we've gone
has
to-
been a lot of us sitting in the same row, and that's what makes it even more fun. It's the whole experience. Like, there's a lot of times like I know I'm a little extra at these shows, and then I go and I message the wrestlers. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, they're like, no, man. They're like, Tiff, you're having a good time. Like, you know, that's it. They're like, we want more of that, and they were saying that, you know, like I'm a good fan to have because me, like, I personally don't care if you're a heel or you're a face. If I kind of like the wrestler, I like the wrestler, and I'm gonna support the wrestler no matter what. So that's like a true fan, you know, that you're gonna go that way or whatever. So like, and I do, and I support like a lot of the heels, and this is another thing too. Is like you got to remember, just because a lot of these wrestlers are heels, that doesn't mean that they're really like that in real life. You know, that's not, and actually I think like Darius Carter had talked about that, right? We talked about that with him a little bit, that a lot of people think that they really think that he's that way, or even Gangone, and right, even Adam Kane too. He came on and he said the same thing, and it's not always necessarily just because you're playing a character doesn't mean that you're like that in real life. And I mean, I can vouch for that big time because of the fact of how much like I've gotten involved in the wrestling world and made a lot of these guys like really good friends with me. So, but Ray would
so I'm
definitely
not
know
an
it.
asshole in real life?
You're an asshole.
I thought we just said.
No, Ray's just an asshole. He's playing nice on the stream.
You know what? No, but all jokes aside, it is true. Like, again, try to make sure you remember that. Again, wrestling is that form of entertainment. A lot of these guys get that bad rep of, because they play heel roles so good,
Yeah.
that people just try to treat them with that disrespect of, oh, you're like this in real life. Like, you don't know the person.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, I hate seeing that. Like, even like we spoke with Darius, that people like to do that thing of, like, in social media, like, actually tagging them in posts like that, saying, oh, you're like this, you're like that. Like, enjoy wrestling. Like, do what you got to do as a fan, but don't go overboard. Don't cross that line that's, like, they have real lives, you know.
Yeah. They're just like us. I've definitely learned that through the last year. And I was one that wouldn't really approach wrestlers years ago, because I did start watching like some of the indie wrestling here and there like years ago. And I've gotten a lot better with approaching them and like talk to them. Like a lot, like I said, a lot of them are really cool, you know, and a lot of them really appreciate it, because if it's not for us, like, you know, they wouldn't be here either. So we're supporting them. So like, even like, oh, like that was like, I've had those passings with wrestlers, like even like bigger names, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, that was great tonight, or, you know, thank you, or whatever. It's the little things, and support your wrestlers, man. A lot of them, like, they do like meet and greets at these indie shows, you know, they have merch, especially now since they're not working, and a lot of them are you know, making their living through wrestling full time. So that's why I've been trying to push out even like YouTube videos of some of my favorite wrestlers, or a lot of them have dropped their merch even when they come on Under the Ropes too. Like, I try to promote all their merchandise as well. So support your locals as well. It's so important. So important.
Yeah, definitely do. Like, especially if you, like, this is, again, like, the best way to say is, if you have enough income and you're doing well and you're good, then please, if you can, go check out Pro Wrestling Tees. Support your local independent wrestler at the moment. Support on Store Frontier. There's so many merch websites. Just, if you can, like, it's not asking, like, go spend a few $100s on these guys, but something that can at least get them through this hard time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, definitely, it's something that, again, but this is not saying, like, if you're struggling on yourself as well, we're not telling you go waste your last dollar. No, because that's something they wouldn't want either.
Yeah, of course.
We want to all get through this together. If you can help them out, that's awesome. That's amazing as well. We just want to all get through this as a community, as people. end of the day, because that's something we have to remember is we're all people. We're all together in this, and we're all trying to make it out sane, but also making sure we're good.
Right.
Because it is hardships at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely. We need to get back. I'm hoping. I mean, like, again, we don't know when this is all gonna happen, but you know, like I said, even like now, like I'm trying to push as much content out there. I'm trying to get like more interviews with a lot of these wrestlers. You know, like, you know, it's a hard time right now, but oh man. So I'm still laughing at the damn poster boards and streamers. Like, seriously.
whoever made that, that person did a good job. That was a good sign. Yeah.
Wait, let's look at that again. Let's see. Let's take a look
Look
at that.
oh man, look at that. Like even the writing there, that looks so nice. Like that was cool. Wonder who did that.
Ray. Oh man. But
No,
yeah.
but yeah, definitely we have to try to get through. It's like even you've seen, like we've been putting out more content out there. Even myself, I've been doing the streams now, doing those 2K streams. Like, stay busy, folks. Like, try to stay busy. Like, it's the easiest way to try to get past this at the moment. Like, it's again, like even watch back old independent matches. Watch wrestling on. There's a bunch of networks. There's the WWE Network. There's New Japan World, Impact Plus, IWTV. There's Fight. I'm trying to remember everything because I don't want to leave anyone out.
There's a
Power
lot.
Slam TV. I believe there's so many that's like, but again, like anything you can use, just try to use it. Try to just support.
I feel like this is also the time because of the fact that it's like overboarded with wrestling, right? Like we talked about that. Like there's a lot of times like we'll go to a show and like something else is like on pay-per-view, or there's like one show going on and you can't go to multiples, but you know you have to pick one, or you know. But like this is the time because a lot of people talk about this, that it's like there's just not, you know, like you just can't do everything, right? So this is the time because there isn't a lot of wrestling that you can go back and watch a lot of these shows. So I know I want to do a watch along with Kyle and actually Queen of NE, and we want to go and watch because Kyle's never seen GCW before. So because of the fact that I know Kyle's not used to watching death matches, like we wanted to do one that wasn't as extreme. So the one that me and Queen of NE went to in January, me and Queen, and I had asked Queen as well if she wanted to do another like watch along with, you know, reliving this for me and Queen, but also getting to see this with Kyle and see what his reaction is, because Kyle's not as familiar in the indie scene as much as me and Ray are. So I would love to like see like a raw reaction with him. Because I've done that with him, that I've been to NXT with him, I've been to G1 with him, and then I went to Full Gear with him. So I've seen that. But I still even hope like the goal one day. Well, I mean, I took Kyle to House of Glory. So like that was one, but like I kind of want to bring Kyle more to like a smaller promotion, and get like that feel. So a lot of the shows that me and Ray go to all the time. So they're a lot smaller. There's some that like maybe there's only 50 people. Sometimes they're like 100 people, like, which is more, and when we go back and talk about that, is like it's very intimate, which is very different. It's a very different experience. So, but even during intermission as well, that's another nice thing, because a lot of these shows, they have intermission, and then, you know, a lot of the talents go outside and then they do meet and greets or they hang out. And there's been plenty of pictures that you've seen like floating around with me and Ray with a lot of the wrestlers that become like a lot of our friends as well, which is great. But this is what I talk about. Go have a conversation with them. They're just like anybody else. Like me, I went from being very nervous talking to a lot of these wrestlers to being very comfortable with a lot of these wrestlers now, and that I like talk to them on the regular. So you know, you just never know, but be respectful, guys. Like that's like the number one thing is like always the same thing. Like be very, very, very respectful of, you know, these wrestlers, because they are everyday people, but there's a line, you know, that you just do not cross. So,
because again, it's that thing of they portray this again. If they're doing a heel, don't feel like, oh, they're being an asshole toward me or something. It's them.
You're right.
Like I feel like that's the issue too. That's like, oh, why don't you want to talk now? It's like they're being a heel.
Yeah.
Like you expect this. Like again, they're normal people. They'll talk to you afterward. But when, like I always say, like when that red light's on, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's a different story. Like we've seen it. We've had like friends of ours do it to us when that switch happens.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's it.
Hey,
that's
we could talk about Gangon, right? Like, it's the most funniest thing, even like during the shows, right? Like, I always go back to like that IWA show that we went to, and that, you know, so he threw like his like gear, like his coat, like near me and Ray or whatever. So then when he left, like he had to portray the heel, and then he snatched the gear back from you and walked out. I was dying.
And again, look at the common denominator. It happened to me, huh?
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, but then again, we know and fans know it's like, hey, it's part of the show. It's having that fun. It's not to be taken like, oh man, fucking like asshole. Like, no, like enjoy it, have fun. Don't take things too serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, end of the day, it's entertainment. It's having that fun. It's just enjoying the time that you're there.
Yeah. It's really an experience. And like, I know people have told me like they haven't gone to shows. You should try your local. I mean, as much like we try to dive into a lot, and it sucks because with everything going on right now, me and Ray had a bucket list. Like, we had said this in 2019 that 2020 was going to be the year that me and Ray were going to go to promotions that we haven't gone to, like even like out of state. I wanted to go to PPW. The Beyond Wrestling was another bucket list for me. Like, I wanted to go around like the coast and go do some stuff. Even me and JPQ had talked a little bit, and we were saying like we wanted to go find a promotion in Delaware that we never been to and go check that out. You know, there. And it's funny, I've also had friends also tell me like, oh, I don't even know. But there's so many even groups on Facebook that you can go find. If you go into wrestling groups as well, you see wrestlers posting promotions or promoters putting posters, and this is how you kind of find. And once you find one, usually, again, like I said, that's how you can find other promotions as well, because again, you know, I always use the example of Gangon because I followed him to promotions that he was working, and that's how like I found other wrestlers as well. And then I start following those guys. Like Leroy Green was one. We went to Outlaw Wrestling one day to go support him. You know, the list just like goes on. Same thing. Joey Silver was working Full Faith Wrestling, so I was like, oh, okay, I gotta go follow him. Like, so these are just great ways to find other promotions, other wrestlers you might like. And same thing too with apps. It's another thing. You might find somebody on an app that you enjoy, and then you like go research them up. I do it all the time. I'm always researching people up and seeing what's new out there. So, but no injecting Lysol. Yeah, no injecting Lysol. Secure yourself, please. It's true. Like Margaret, yeah, because like Margaret said, that's how Brad found a lot of wrestlers. He had talked about that with me. He said that he was doing it like he wasn't going to the shows, but he was supporting by like, again, like you're watching like Fight TV or you're watching IWTV, and he watches a lot of the stuff on the West Coast. That's how like we found out about like Chris Bay, you know, and Chris Bay's another great one, and he was like all on the West Coast. Same thing. Alex Zane's not on the East, like over here, but like we knew the name. We were watching him GCW, and then we were following him as well. Then you were seeing things in Illinois. This is how it starts, you know. So like even one day, like me and Ray had even talked about we'd love to go to bar wrestling in California one day. I wanted to go to Wrestle Circus one day, but that got like shut down. So that kind of makes that like, you know, that kind of sucks.
Oh, it could always come back. You never know.
It could come back. You never know. This is true. This is true. You never know.
But again, that's the thing. Like, again, you never know. Support local indies. Go out and just watch.
Yeah.
Like, there might be that one person you never knew about. It's like, let me start researching. And you see something, and it's like, again, you find something and like, ooh,
yeah, this
is actually close to me. Let me go here. Or again, venture out.
Yeah.
Again, like we've talked about, we want to go to promotions like PPW, like you mentioned, in Pennsylvania. Tiff wants to go to Pro Wrestling Magic.
Yeah.
That was one I've been to a few times.
Yeah.
That's in Jersey. But again, it's venturing out. There's so many promotions out there. Even like we're talking about Beyond.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's like, it's venturing out, going to support independent wrestling, and just showing that love for it.
You know, it's
because again, a lot of these people, you never know who's gonna make it.
What's kind of cool as well is like when I go and I think about like AEW, I went to All Out by myself. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Ray at that point yet. So I went to All Out by myself, and I met up with actually subscribers of the channel. which was great. So I met up with Datiela, who've been, she's been a fan of the No Holds Barred Network for years, and that's like how I met her a couple years ago before I joined Kyle on the No Holds Barred Network. So me and her were talking a lot, and we decided to do all out together, and that's how we like booked our we got our tickets together, we got our hotel together, everything like that, and then whatever, we met up in Chicago. Same thing with Maria. Maria does all the fan art for being the a bunch of fan art for being the elite, and I'm sure you guys see that, whatever. But it was so cool, like, when you really, if you haven't done this experience, I can't stress it enough, like, you should try this at least once, right? And I think one of the most coolest experiences that I had is that I went by myself to go meet up with certain people, which brought me into new friendships as well. And being with a bunch of wrestling community together who love like the same thing. Like everybody went to AEW to go for All Out. Everybody was going for AEW, right? And you got to be in a bunch of places with a bunch of fans that love the same thing and have that love for it. So if you haven't done something like this is something that you should definitely do. And that's how I feel also with the indie scene, because we're always constantly talk to people. It could be like, hey, like, I get it all the time if I wear my AEW hoodie. It's like, oh, you watched that? Oh, did you watch Wednesday night? So same thing as well as like the indie scene, you never know, especially if you're going to a show, and that can make you bond over a wrestler or a promotion or something wrestling related of somebody you don't know, and you might find new friends, which is really, really great. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. It's again, it's like even Christian said it best, like wrestling and music have that common denominator there that's like independent music. Like you never know those opening bands, those things like that. It's like those might be the next hit. And it's just like wrestling.
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna be that next person that can become a star.
Yeah.
And there's guys like even now. It's funny, again, we have to mention AEW, like an MJF.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching him at the start, just at, like, a local promotion, BCW.
Right.
I saw him years ago, just like a regular, just trying to get on an opening contest. And it was like, who would have known years later, he's one of the top heels right now in one of, if not the second biggest company out at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like, it's again, you never know.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. Like a lot of the guys in AEW, like I had followed, MJF was definitely one that I seen in the independent scene like so much here. Create a Pro and SWA, and these were promotions that are out here in New York, and it's so crazy. Same thing, Darby Allin, Private Party, Santana and Ortiz. Like these are people that I was seeing on the regular going to a bunch of shows. Yeah. Like it's really crazy that and you've even had conversations with a lot of these guys. Like it's so fun. And like Ray could tell you, like it was the most funniest thing. It's like, I would see like Quinn and Isaiah, and I like talk to them like normal. Right. It's like other ones. It's like I can't go. Like I couldn't talk to for like the longest. But it's just so funny. Like they know who I. Same thing. Like Flip Gordon. Like Flip Gordon always remembers me when I see him. Like it's just so funny. Again, like I said, if you keep going, you keep supporting, they become very familiar with you. So. Yeah. Margaret said that she remembers seeing AJ Styles at the Ring of Honor's first anniversary show. Now look at him. It's true. Like, it's Amazing Red. Another one is like back at like, early ICW, and like, look where they are now. It's just, it's insane. You don't know. Like Killer Cross was so huge. Like, I know like he was in Impact, and then he went into the indie scene, and he was like so hot in the indie scene and everything. And everybody was like, okay, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? Like, and then of course, like now, like he's in WWE, but even still it's especially if you become like friends, it's crazy to see that you supported, that wrestler and to see them get signed. It's like that, like appreciation, like it's a huge accomplishment. Like you're so proud of them and you get to see them evolve. Right. Yeah. Like that's probably like the best thing.
Wrestling is that evolution. It's that evolution from, again, the indies being that smaller territory, like bring it back to the territorial system. The indies was that. It was that territory system of now, like, okay, they're starting out here. They're going around locally. They're branching out a little more and a little more. And eventually that company bites.
Yeah.
Like Christian even mentioned, LAX, when they were just EYFBO.
Yeah.
When there were two guys that were just trying to be funky and doing, like, if you remember the band LMAFAO.
Yeah.
That's where the idea spanned off of. And they were just two guys doing that kind of gimmick. and people were like, oh, they're good, but hey. But then later on, you saw them evolve into EYFBO, going into Team Pazuzu, getting that opportunity of a lifetime, getting to be proteges under Conan and becoming the new LAX. It was like the sky was the limit from there.
I'm sorry. I'm cracking up at Greg. He's talking about Danhausen. He's up yours. That's his new thing now. Oh my God. I remember being at Brad Marcus' house and I was like, who is that? I was like, this is the best gift. That's another thing too. You know, you're watching shows, like you'll watch a pay-per-view, you know nothing of them, and then you like fall in love. And I remember just falling in love with Danhausen, and I drove Ray crazy that weekend. I was like, Danhausen is the MVP right now. I was like, I love Danhausen, and that freaking promo where him and freaking Sanchez, Pinky Sanchez. I was dying all weekend. So now his new thing is up yours, up yours.
No, and that's again too, like Danhausen. It was someone that his original gimmick wasn't like this. It wasn't a character. It was more like serious based. But again, that evolution shows that now everyone knows Danhausen. Yeah. Like you hear it everywhere. You hear people say, love Danhausen, this and that. Now up yours is the thing. And it's like, that's what happens. Like you never know what's going to click until it does.
Yeah.
And from there, the sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit.
And it's amazing. Like the sky's the limit for all these guys. And it's like, you never know. You never know who's going to get that shot to be like, boom, they're gonna go crazy wherever they go.
I know.
And again, it's why you should support at every step of the way. Support on the indie scene. When they make it as well, support them. Because again, you get to see that growth and you get to see, oh man, I remember him here. I remember him there. Yeah. And look where he is now. A lot of these guys, I've been lucky that, again, I've trained with a lot of these guys. I've been able to watch them from this to now here. And it's like, it's that sense of like, you're proud to see these guys. Like a lot of the guys, like, again, like LAX, like Private Party, I get to call them like brothers. And it's like, it's amazing to see. Right. And it's like that family atmosphere is why, again, the back to the basics, what we wanted to talk about is that enjoy it and appreciate it for what it is. Right. Because now, unfortunately, it's gone. Right now, with what we're at, it's unfortunately gone for the moment.
I watch like Ray one day is gonna be in the ring and you guys gonna be like, oh.
They're gonna boo the shit out of me.
I'm gonna boo the shit out of Ray, and the minute he hits a code red, I'm getting up and leaving.
I feel like that's what I have to wait. Like it's gonna be till like a title match when I'm about to win. Then I'll be like, hey Tiff, look at this.
I'm going to get up and leave. And you know what the funniest thing is? He's probably going to do this like out of state. And he's going to know, he's going to be like, she can't really leave because she's driving. So she can't really leave the state because she got to take me with her. So he's going to hit that code red. I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk out of the venue, but I'm going to be waiting outside in my car or something like that. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I told you I was going to leave. You didn't really leave, Tiffany, because you're sitting right here.
No, it's gonna be the opposite. By then, I'll be the one driving, so you're gonna be like just pouting, like
fuck, like I can't leave. I can only leave the venue. I can't. Oh man, it's all good. So it's all clean fun. But oh man, no, seriously, I can't. Like again, we started this show, Indy Talks, because we feel like the indie scene doesn't get enough credit, and it really should. And it always goes back to the indie scene because again, the wrestlers that you like on TV now started somewhere, right?
Yeah. So look at our layout at the moment. Yeah. Look at the guys on there: Chris Bay, Sami Callihan, the lovely Tessa Blanchard, Anthony Gangone, Chris Dickinson, Alex Zane. At the moment, you see they've all gone to that superstardom right now. Yeah. Chris Bay currently signed with Impact. You know what's funny? I just noticed we have like
I know. I just realized that. That
like
wasn't
Chris
done.
Bay with Impact, Sami Callihan with Impact, Tessa with Impact, Anthony Gangone. If you've noticed, he's everywhere right now.
Everywhere.
Even like a mainstay right now at CZW. Yeah. You see Chris Dickinson. This guy has gone everywhere with Evolve, gone with Beyond Wrestling, touring it up with Team Pazuzu. Alex Zane, another guy that blew up like that.
Yep.
And now he's
Tony
been featured
Deppen
in
blew
New
him up.
Japan.
Yeah, he got like big, like with Tony Deppen, that GCW show at 4th of July last year. That is a like, if you guys did not see it, it's like a backyard wrestling style, the GCW show for 4th of July. If there is something you want to watch, I'm telling you, this is worth to watch, the GCW on 4th of July. It was so good, the match between him and Tony Deppen, which both of them I've had on the podcast, which have been so fortunate. I love, again, like I said, like I do these interviews with the wrestlers because like I do it for you guys, but I also get a lot out of it for myself too, because there's a lot of things I do not know about these wrestlers. So I, even with going back to basic conversations with them that I've had, these like, where did you start? I know like a lot of the under the ropes, like I do the same questions, but again, everybody's got a different story. Me and Ray talk about this all the time. Each one has a different story. And this is what I love about Under the Ropes. It's never the same story. It's never the same story. So again, like I said, this is why I love doing Under the Ropes. And especially if I can have some of these wrestlers come back, at least I can go a little more in depth with them about what they have done in that, maybe within the last couple of months, within the last year or something. So even like Anthony Gangone was the first interview, we had him come back and I was able to have a more in-depth conversation with him because of the fact that I followed him. So we got to talk about his first death match since the first interview. We got to talk a little bit of that. So that is the goal with Under the Ropes as well. And again, we've had promoters, we've had referees, we've had ring announcers. So I'd like to get everybody a little bit more involved on Under the Ropes, not, so, and every once in a while, like I try to get a vet to come on as well. So next week I got Danny DeMonto's coming on. Danny DeMonto's been around in the business a long time. He's worked for GCW and now he's working for ICW and he wrestles as well. So there's a lot that we could sit there, we could talk to him about who he's worked with. So I'm really excited for that interview as well. So, it's pinned on the No Holds Barred Network Twitter as well. So make sure if you have questions for him, write them and I'll make sure that I'll ask him that on the podcast on Monday. So, but yeah, so. Man, we've been rambling almost an hour. It went by so quick, huh?
What did I say? Like, we had this conversation. We're like, what are we going to talk about? There's no show we went to. We didn't watch anything, like, at the moment. And it's like, watch, this hour is going to go.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing. Again, guys, just because, unfortunately, we can't, like, be, like, right next to our friends, or we can't do this and that, there's not a reason to not be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, we're lucky that we're in the day and age of technology that's, like, we can hop on Skype, we can hop on Zoom, we can hop on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever system, and just talk to your friends, have laughs, make moments. Like, we love making moments. And so, like, we can still do that.
Yeah.
Like, later after this, the conversation isn't going to end. Sadly, we have to go in a little bit. But me and Tiff, for some more friends, we're about to hop on Skype too and just chill.
Yeah.
And we have to just enjoy and have fun. And Christian, we got to get on that game. I got you, bro. But it's like, that's how it is. Like, just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, time can go by. Like, unfortunately, again, like we mentioned, because of the situation where independent wrestling took a huge blow, but it doesn't mean it's going anywhere.
Right.
When this gets better, and I'm saying when. It's not an if. We got to do that. We got to definitely say when. Because I feel like that's where we have to be. We have to be positive because this is going to get better. We're all going to be good. We're going to be able to come back, and it's going to come even stronger. And that's how we have to look at it.
Yeah, and like really, like you could even do like I said, what we did. Like we were fortunate. Like last weekend, was it Sunday? Sunday we did like a little Skype party. We were watching the Synergy and H2O show, and then I also had an IWTV show on as well. So we're watching ICW as well. So we were sitting enjoying that, like kind of like if we were at a show, we were talking, and we were just talking whatever, just like hanging out, just being with people. So it's been pretty like nice to have that, as well. So. But yeah, do that, man. Like, especially get a group of friends to do it. I know, like I said, Queen of NE, she's been doing some Google Hangouts as well during some of these shows as well. So I've hopped in those chats, and even in Queens, like you see some of the wrestlers in there. Like we saw LSG in the chat. Matt Tremont was in the Fight TV chat. So you just don't know who's gonna pop up in these hangouts. So make sure you also support your local podcasters as well, because you don't even know what they're doing. So. But
Yeah.
again, even make sure you follow the No Holds Barred Facebook group as well. There is a lot of independent wrestlers in there, and there's a thread somewhere in there as well where they're posting their merch, and some of them are just posting the merch if you like some of these guys. And again, like, I'm trying to post as much YouTube content of some of my favorite wrestlers, some of their favorite matches. And if you guys like have matches you want to share, please follow that group as well, and post them, because there's a lot of people. There's polls that go on in there. Like I said, there's conversation with wrestlers, artwork. There's so many things going on in that group. So guys, thank you so much for who's been in that group, because it's been great. And again, there's other podcasters in there as well, plenty that I'm going to collab with. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So
yeah. And it's that community. It's that community feel. So don't feel like, oh, maybe they don't want to talk to me. Like, hey, we're all that community. It's trying to make everyone network better, try to get us all to put out great content and just have fun.
Yeah. And if there's things that you want, like me and Ray to do, never mind also like me and Kyle to do, because I know like me and Kyle are doing so many different things on the network, and because of the fact that like me and Ray haven't really been able to do an Indie Talks, if you guys want, if there are suggestions that you guys have for me and Ray, please like let us know. Write it on like on YouTube, tweet at us, so really like let us know, because me and Ray are always, especially now, like I know it's boring. It's nice to see a bunch of you guys in the chat, like hanging out with us, chatting with us as well. So if there are things that you would like us to do, let us know. If you want me and Ray to do a watch along, we can do something like that. If if there's a certain topic that you want us to talk about in the indie scene, let us know. If you want me and Ray to do another fantasy card, I mean, that was fun, our little indie mania. I don't know, maybe we should do another one of those, if you guys enjoyed that with like a bunch of our favorite independent wrestlers. It was pretty entertaining with our never ending battle royale.
We got to bring that back, because there's no space for like all of them. But
I think that's the problem.
Not to do a cheap plug, but if you want to see my madness of fantasy booking as well, go check out my YouTube channel, Ray Ramundo. I've been doing crazy like fantasy card with some decent booking, at least some storylines there and such. And yeah, like again, we're trying to put out content that you guys want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have it be another podcast, have it be just us shooting the shit, just having us watch something. Whatever you guys want us to do, we're down, because we want to make sure we're entertaining you guys, and just we're entertaining ourselves. Actually, like we're having fun too. Like we're an hour in, and we're just laughing and just having fun.
Yeah.
Because again, that's all this is having fun, making sure we're good during this time that we're in.
Right. So
and this doesn't end here. Like when this all gets better, we're gonna hopefully again still do content for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's not gonna stop.
This shouldn't end either.
No.
Like that. Even then, that's gonna get even better, because back to shows.
Yeah.
Back to talking about the live experience.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't end now.
No. So we're just trying to provide as much as we can now, because we have the time, and a lot of people we know are bored. I've been sharing a lot of old episodes that we've done on the channel as well, which has been great. So again, like make sure you're subscribed to the No Holds Barred Network. We're on YouTube. We're on all audio platforms as well. But follow me at Loves to Dream 82 on Twitter. Follow Ray somewhere.
Oh, you don't even know my social.
Follow him.
See, I gotta do my own intro. I gotta do my own plug. So if you want to follow me, you can do so on all of the social medias. It's Ray_Ramundo. It is Ray_Ramundo. YouTube channel, Ray Ramundo.
Yes.
Cheap plug.
I like it. Well, I mean, I guess this is the time, like, pretty much where we're going to wrap it up, right? So, is there anything else that you want to add? No. We're going to have to come back. Like,
we got to wrap it up.
Right.
No, but yeah, it's been fun. Thank you, Tiff, again for letting me be on. Like, letting us do this crazy podcast that we're doing. Talking about something we both love, independent wrestling, just wrestling in general, just getting to shoot the shit and have fun.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Again, thank you guys for watching us, because again, you could be doing a lot more things on a Friday. There's so many other stuff out there, but you chose to sit down with us for a nice hour and just talk about something we all love, and that's wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. Love it. I love these things. And again, we're just going to push out as much content as we as we can, and we're open to suggestions that you guys want us to do. But yeah, there's a lot of content still coming out tomorrow. Again, 4:00, Wrestle Forum's coming back with me and Kyle. We're getting our friend Jimmy J on. Oh man, that's gonna be I don't think Kyle's ready for like another me. Right? Like Jimmy J is a lot like me, right? Like that person, I don't even know how Kyle handles me. And you're going to put me and Jimmy J with Kyle. And yeah, he's going to be laughing a lot, I think, Kyle. And I don't think he's going to be ready for this tomorrow.
Well, you're gonna have to stay tuned for that from Jimmy. Take It Home TV.
Yes,
that's gonna be fun.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time. So, but again, guys.
More content coming out. Again, I've seen a lot of people, they want Indie Mania Part 2. So maybe stay tuned. We have time. So
we got a lot of time. We gotta sit. It was actually when we decided to do that, we were just laughing on PlayStation. That we were just like sitting talking about it. Like, can you imagine this match versus this, this guy versus this guy? We were just dying laughing. We're like, shit, write this down. This should be an episode. Like, that's how that started. So it's got to be one of those conversations that we sit there and we're dying laughing at. And like, we're really sitting thinking deep about who, why, where, like all these things. So we'll definitely keep that in.
See, that's a problem with it too, that we have to like think about everything.
Yeah.
Like, why would this happen? How is this going to happen? Everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. But again, we have time. We'll try to work something out, and a lot more content coming.
Absolutely. So guys,
thank you guys again.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure as always. I'm still laughing because I'm the EVP Giggles, the queen of the indies herself, the heartbreak chick. Too many names for me. I don't know.
You know what's funny? You remember all those, but can't remember my name.
Who are you again? I don't know you. How did you get on this episode? I don't even know. How did you get on here?
I know a guy that knows a guy who happens to know a guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. But again, I'm the Law Ray Raimundo.
Guys, be safe out there. And we will talk to you soon. So make sure you subscribe, like, share this page. And bye.
There's something you